Hello out there, and welcome to the Danny.
And Rihanna's show. This is Danny Pena, Rihanna's husband.
And this is Rihanna Manuel Pena, Danny's wife. And we have gotten a lot of feedback about our latest episode, talking about our move to Dominican Republic. And we thought we'd take another shot at explaining what the plan is and maybe answering some questions that we've seen a lot of tossing our way to help clarify and maybe help inspire or clear it up for other people out there who are looking to do a similar move. And yeah, Danny, want to tell people some of the stuff that we're going to cover today?
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about reactions. I'll read some of the reactions from people. It's all over the place because some people are like, wait, yo, you guys are leaving? Oh my God. I'm like, no, we're not leaving yet.
Yes, the answer is yes, but not today.
Not today. Not today. We'll talk about that. You know, we read some of the reactions and also explain a little bit of like the process. How's it been for us researching and learning more about the area in Punta Cana? You know, because a lot of the things that people have been bringing up is like how's security, how's the crime, how's with your child, what school, like things like that. People have been asking a lot of questions about that. So we'll talk about all that. I mean, it's not gonna be a whole hour episode or anything like that, but we'll try to respond as much as possible from our viewers and listeners. But so far, the reaction has been, the majority has been very positive, very, very positive.
Yeah, so let's start with maybe some of like the general reactions, because I know, Danny, you've kind of been trying to gather them all up from all corners of the world. I know from my side of the family, just some context for everybody, not a lot of people have left Ohio, let alone the country, and so we don't have as much experience historically with moving abroad, or even a lot of people taking trips, right? And so myself and my mom, or maybe some of the people who, and a few of my cousins, are some of the people who have traveled the most out of our family. And yeah, it's just really rare for anybody to leave the country, let alone live outside the country. So we're less comfortable with the idea in general, and it's a little bit more of a foreign concept. And for you, Danny, what's your family's history with living outside of the United States?
It's both. Some of my family live there still, or they live here, but also have a property over there. So they usually will go back and forth. You know, like my mom, for example, she has a property in San Francisco Macorís. So, and she goes all the time. Like she likes to take a break, or when she has to like visit family or do anything, personal stuff, she'll stay at her property, be there for a couple of weeks, even a month, or maybe more than a month. And when she's ready, she just go back to the States, and it's been like that the whole time. So, but
She
I
also
also
does
have
mission trips, delivering resources and things for some of the children in that area. Where
actually she did that recently, a couple of days ago. Yeah, she sent us pictures of that. And I also have a family that they have a home in Florida, in Tampa, the Tampa area, but they have multiple properties in Dominican Republic, and some of them, one of them is for them to live also, so that's like their second property. But the other properties is more for like Airbnb, for rental in different parts of the country, not just one area. So like for us, the plan is for now is we would like to buy a rental property first, and it's a very, very beautiful area. Like the potential that we see in this place is amazing. And
Very
we'll talk
exciting.
more about that in the future. But I also want we want to record some content from the area that we're planning to buy. So at least you guys can have an idea what this is about and everything. But in the future also, we want to buy a property for our future home also there. So, but it's going to be in the Punta Cana area, because the thing is with Punta Cana is still a very tourist area. A lot of people travel there all the time. Airport is very close. There's flights all the time there.
International airport.
International airport. People fly in from like Europe, from Canada, from the States, from Latin America, from everywhere. So we're very excited to try this out, together. I'm very, very excited. And I know it's something very, very new. People are going to be asking a lot of questions about like how we're going to do with like remote work. And look, we've been doing all types of research, from like working from there, from how can we create content. Look, and the thing is, for us, we haven't seen any of the gaming creators or gaming media living in that area. We haven't seen that yet. Unless, please let us know in the comment
Yes, please
section
let us
below.
know because we want to meet them if they're
Yeah,
there.
but I know we want to do something different over there because what I noticed is a lot of real estate creators over there, or people that just are either musicians or they have like a beauty type of content creation, type thing where people will go over there and do unboxing, do the usual stuff they do over here. But for us, it's going to be more of the gaming side, business side. But we also want to also give advice to people that are potentially want to make that move, or maybe they want to do a move somewhere else besides the Dominican Republic. And we could talk about our experience living there with a child and owning our own business. We could talk about that experience too, So that's in the future plans. But for now, baby steps. Our first thing we have to do is just buy the property, the rental property, So.
Yeah, and one of the things that Danny mentioned, I really want to figure out how to stream from the beach. That's like my one like goal post that I'm like, okay, I want to figure out how to do a stream out there so you guys can see why we've fallen in love with it and why it's so special to us to be out there. Obviously, we wouldn't always live on the beach. That's not practical for school zone purposes, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, we have a lot of fun ideas for the type of content we can make there. To be clear, for a while, even if we do get this rental property and even if we stay in it for some amount of time, we're coming back. Like we're split between LA and DR for quite some time, right? For a year or so. And majority of our time will probably still be spent in the States. We have a lot of business here and a lot of friends here that we want to make sure we get quality time with before we go. All of that is going to still be mostly the same. We're just going to take extended vacations and be working while we're there. As Danny said, remote work is really, really well set up there. So kind of getting into the Q&A part of this episode, and we're going to keep it snappy, but some of the common things we've heard of, one of which is like, how are you going to work while you're there? Well, digital nomads are very welcomed in Dominican Republic, and especially, as Danny mentioned, in Punta Cana, which has developed quite a bit. It started as a tourism hub, but it's growing more and more into a family community. There are a couple of different suburbs in Punta Cana, two of which we're really looking at closely, and one in particular that has a very prestigious school being built right now, probably one of the best available in the country, which we are, of course, eyeing for our very special girl, our little girl Violet. And that's where we would intend to live long term, right? So they have fiber. Of course, Starlink is available as well, and it is very easy to set up shop and work from there. It is really no different than anywhere here, honestly better than some more remote parts of the United States and even
Agreed.
Southern California. There are some shaky spots with cell towers, but you can get an eSIM, like which we plan to do, and cover yourself when you're in between major tower zones. Is always more and more, right? Like as developed as it is right now, it's going to be more. And that's what we're really excited about is, originally we were thinking in Southern California, outside of the greater Los Angeles area, we'd eventually move to the suburbs, right? Really nice school district, bigger house, a yard, some entertaining space, which we don't really have here. And like we love the house we're in. It's beautiful. We've done a lot to it, as you've seen in our backgrounds over the years. But, there's only so much we can do with this amount of space and no yard. And, we can't really get that here anymore. As we mentioned in the last video, and we've mentioned before, the fires in LA changed a lot for a lot of people. And for us, the impact is we have moved our, American dream to the Dominican and the suburbs that we can access there, which kind of takes me to sort of like the second question, which is how safe is it? Well, it's as safe as anywhere else, really. Most places are pretty similar. You have to have your wits about you. But where we're looking, again, suburbs, they're all gated communities. And honestly, safer than we are where we are right now. And
Very
that's
safe,
really,
yep.
really, really important to us. And so there's a security gate. You have to leave either your ID or have a pass showing you're a resident at that gate. So there are no shenanigans that go down over there. And yeah, we really like the precautions that have been taken to make sure that people are well guarded and that they feel comfortable, right? You can let your guard down there. There's all kinds of things to do there, which, Danny, I'll let you kind of take the next question, which is like, what do you even do when you live there? And we've watched so many videos and seen so many examples of people walking around the different neighborhoods and like what kind of attractions there are. So Danny, why don't you address that question about what we even do?
I mean, there's tons of stuff. Look, here's the thing that I love about Dominican Republic. It's very slow pace, so it's not. Look, I came from New York City, so And when Reed met me in New York, I was always like moving around a lot. When I'm here in LA, I move around a lot. Like it's like nonstop, right? Actually, when we got together with our clients during Summer Game Fest, they were like, "Oh my God, how the you guys have these energy, man? Like moving around so much nonstop." But the thing is, with Dominican Republic, it's going to be very slow paced for us. Like, we're going to make moves, but it's going to be more relaxing. It's not stressful. And the things, look, I know people are going to ask, like, okay, like you were asking about things to do with there. Yeah, there's the beach, there's, restaurants. But also, like, I just want to experiment. Like, there's, it's like water parks. There's a lot of parks over there that we could also go with our child. There's also activities. Like I remember seeing one activity for young kids where they learn how to cook. Like stuff like that, where they'll go and a chef is actually showing the kids how to cook. Everybody's get together and everything. That's pretty cool, right? We could do that. There's also even a couple of days ago we seen this amazing restaurant where it's like an experience where it's like. I mean, it's expensive, but you go in there, there's people like playing, music, dancing. There's like this whole food service in there too. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
an
they're
extra.
like hanging from the ceiling and dancing on like
Yeah.
hoops and silks and stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of like Circus Soleil vibe, but,
Yeah.
but it's a restaurant, like things like that. Or, hey, look, just want to just relax, watch a game, sports game. Sports is very big over there in DR, especially like baseball, basketball. For me, I love football, so of course there's going to be Americans over there that are going to watch, football. There's so many things to do over there. The only difference is just a slower pace than what we're at right now in the United States.
Yeah, and we looked up like places we can go to the movies. There's a bunch of malls, and including, I think, one or two new malls around the area where we're looking at
Lots of
to
shopping center, lots of shopping
shopping
centers.
center. There are this is huge beach and a huge man-made lake. There's more coming to the Punta Cana area, and they're really focusing on family-friendly environments that they're building out there, which is really attractive to us for very obvious reasons. Yeah, slower pace, plenty to do, but just more focus on actually living and less on hustling, which we're really looking forward to. As two very dedicated hustlers, sometimes it's important to remember what it all is for.
Of course, of course. So I'm gonna read you a couple of comments, like what people have been
Yeah.
saying. We'll react to it too, because a lot of reaction has been like, "Whoa, like really?" Because
Yeah.
here's the thing: nobody was expecting us to buy a house in Los Angeles.
I don't
They
think
were
we
like,
were expecting us to
we were not
buy
expecting that. But here's the thing with us: like we're not afraid of taking that risk. If things doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Then
Yeah.
we'll do
We sell
something
it,
else.
move on,
Yeah,
recover.
it's nothing bad. And look, it's not like we're going through some stuff here in LA. It's just more of it's good to make the change early because we want to try something new. In my opinion, you probably feel the same way too for different reasons. Yeah, let me read you a couple of comments here. This is from JD Sec. That's a very long name. All right, so he says it truly resonates with me emotionally. Many people are returning to the Dominican Republic or becoming expat there. I recently returned from a 10-day vacation with my family. We visited Cabrera, Rio San Juan, Nagua. We passed by Nagua when we were over there. Punta Cana, and other places. The moment I left the charming town of Valladolid,
Oh, in the mountain
in the mountain.
or closer to the.
Valladolid is like in Cibao, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
I think. I'm not 100% sure. I felt a wave of emotions and wanted to cry. Now I'm adjusting my life to see if we can relocate back to Dominican Republic. Here's the thing. Going over there, it's a different vibe. I can't even really explain. You have to, and look, I'm not talking about the resorts because that's party. That's a
No.
different vibe. When you travel and see like the actual island, like you driving around, go to the mountains, go to the cities, and I'm not saying also be away to be safe, not just go to like a bad area, but the majority area is beautiful. It's calm. It's very relaxing. It's a different vibe, and I get what this person is saying. Like, I get like it's a different experience than living here in the United States. It's very different, So I felt the same way when we went to La Terrenas back in February.
Yeah.
Beautiful location, like but that's not a place for us to live there for that area. That area is more like, yo, Reed, let's just go hang out for the weekend. Maybe we'll stay with my mom or family in Punta Cana or whatever.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We have family. We have support system there, which
Yeah,
we don't
which is
really.
great. We don't have that here.
We don't have that
It's
here.
zero, zero. All right, so here's another one. This is from Brett. He says, I'm from LA and moved to Costa Rica to raise my kids. They have 2 passports, moved back for high school. Perfect plan.
Yeah,
It
that's
worked
another
out.
one that we've been thinking about is if, the school we're looking at, it's K through 12, but if Violet, once she's old enough to make those choices, wants to come back for high school, that's something we could absolutely talk about.
Yep. And this is another one from Chubby Behemoth. I will be terrified of raising a child in the U.S. with everything that's been going on. So I think you're making the right move. Best of luck.
I mean, to be fair to everybody and the millions and millions of people who are, including us right
Yeah.
now, yeah, it's hard. And some people have it better than others, and it's just the choice that we're making for ours.
Yep. Yep. Let's see what else. Cammy, hearts. Actually, she wrote in one of the comments like she's gonna miss us. I'm like, we're gonna be
Aw,
around.
we're
We're
still
gonna be
here.
around.
We're not dying. We're
We're,
literally
we're
just moving.
we're gonna be around. Oh, Neha wrote this. The
Aw.
cost. Wow, I hear that. Best wishes on your next move.
Let's talk about that because, like, without getting into numbers of like what we pay for everything, the cost of here in LA, and we're in the greater Los Angeles
Los
area,
Angeles. Yes.
an expensive place. We know that. Totally aware. We could move to Middletown, Ohio instead. We're not. We have a certain quality of life that we're expecting. We want to be near family, and we like nice things. The cost of living of moving to a suburb here, which was the next move, versus moving to a suburb in Dominican Republic is thousands of dollars less a month. And it's just absurd to not even consider it. And once we considered it, we're like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. For the things we want, the quality of life that we are comfortable with, and the convenience that we want, the healthcare we need access to, the schools, the remote connectivity, airport, all of that stuff. It's the spot that just works for all of those things. It checks all the boxes. So the fact that it's also significantly less expensive, and that money can go towards our kids' school or our investments or future savings or just travel so that our family can experience other parts of the world that aren't the US and Dominican. Like that's really important to us. Honestly, when we put everything down on paper, it was a no-brainer. Like it was like you've gone through the exercise maybe once or twice in your life where you write out all the pros and all the cons for something. When I tell you the list of pros was like 3 times longer
Way longer.
for
Yeah.
DR, like it's just the choice makes itself, right? So that's why it's something we're really focused on, and why we're doing so much research. Like, we're looking at the high school accreditations and where our kid could go to college afterwards. We're looking at the cost of healthcare every month and how quality it is. Like, we're looking at the exchange rates. We're looking at how mortgages are done there. We're looking at business opportunities there. Like, we're looking at comparable businesses to what we do down there. Like, we're looking at real life. Like how much is your grocery bill? How much is electricity? How do you get water every day? Like all of these things are really real. And it's not just like, oh, it's cute on vacation, and so we want to live there. Like, no, we're really researching the heck out of this thing.
Yeah. And
And
electricity is not cheap.
not cheap. Not
Electricity is
good.
not cheap. I'm just putting it out there because people
That's
think,
one of the
oh,
cons. It was on the cons list.
it's one of the cons,
It is.
but it's going to be worth it for the things that we do. All right, so we have another one. This is a very long one, but I think this is important to read. This is from Emilio. Shout out to Emilio Lopez. This was actually on X. He said, a lot of my friends have been cutting the cord on the U.S. in general, relocating. The unfortunate truth is that this country is following the pandemic isn't the best place where your money doesn't just go into paying bills and living there. Years ago, I made the tough decision to move to Pennsylvania, PA, and now 9 years later, my rent and cost of living have gone right up to where it was when I still lived in NYC in 2016. I work in an industry where there are no raises, no vacation times, or overtime. You will be lucky if you can afford healthcare. You have no bargaining posture besides take care what we offer or don't. I have worked on the same rate for close to 20 years now, and the only thing is for them is to move on somewhere else. But where do you go to escape this is the question we will have to answer someday. And for Danny Rihanna, it's not here in the States. I wish them all the luck on this new adventure. Picking up their lives and setting it in another country is a huge, huge step. Thanks, Amelia, for that. And I
Thank you,
completely
Amelia.
understand what you're saying too, man. I
Yeah, and
completely understand.
we have several friends who have made a similar move. Like, shout out to Blair, who's been a huge inspiration for us. Shout out to Malik, also, who has been a huge inspiration for us. We have other friends who I won't name who are also looking at making similar changes for their family. And when I say family, it's pretty much all people with kids. And I think that really changes the way that you look at the choices that you make. Pretty much any parent would say, like, duh, but it's hard to understand when you're either further removed from it, like maybe older people in my family who aren't actively raising any kids in America, so they don't have that firsthand look at what it really is like today. Or for people who don't have kids, who, don't have that thing to worry about. And even younger people. I've known a lot of them who are like out of the country, spending either some temporary time there or relocating there indefinitely. And we were talking with your co-host Pete about this earlier this week, and he was saying, like, any time that somebody has the opportunity to get out of the country or to travel or to live somewhere else, go. Just go and see what it's like, breathe the air, eat the food, talk to the people, learn the language, and contribute to those economies and see how it feels, because this is not the only place in the world, and we are so much more connected than ever. We call our grandma and abuela every day to see the baby, and that won't change when we're in DR. You know what I mean? Like we see people a few times a year. That won't change when we're in DR. If anything, it would be more because we'll have more money for travel. Like these things aren't permanent, but they're also not completely restrictive. And I think it's important that people remind themselves every once in a while, like, the options that you do have the privilege of considering, consider them. Like, it may end up that you see, maybe I should stay where I'm at. Maybe it is better here, but sometimes it's not.
Yep.
And it's important for everyone to really take a hard look at what they can and can't do right now for themselves, for their communities, for their families, for their people, and make it educated choices, and don't feel stuck, because nobody wants to feel stuck. If anything, you want to feel like you actively chose what your situation is. And if you have the ability to do that, go through the exercise, actively choose your life, and whatever it ends up being, you'll feel better about it.
100%. 100%. I'm very excited, Reed, for
Me too.
us to make this move. And, thanks to everybody that been hitting us up, either from the podcast, from YouTube, social media. It's been great seeing people's reaction, but also they've been asking questions at the same time, too. Like, we'll try our best to answer those questions. But I think
we're
overall,
we're not like expat experts. We haven't done it yet.
no, we haven't done it yet.
This is a learning process, and we'll get some stuff wrong, but nothing that can't be addressed.
Yeah, but as of right now, we've been, just doing research. And I know one of the things that people are, we're going to wrap it up in a few minutes, but one of the things I think people are also afraid, like, especially for us, like, that they've done like content creation, et cetera, or business, where they would think if I go somewhere else out of the country, out of the United States, I probably will lose those opportunities. And I don't see it that way for us. I don't see that. I think it's more of staying communicating with those that you're connected with for like business or non-business. Because look, you have the internet. We're closer than ever. Before, it makes a lot of sense why there's not a lot of communication. But now with the internet, WhatsApp, with phone lines, with all kinds of stuff, we're not losing that type of communication with the people that we're working with, our clients, with with companies that we work for, like our opportunities for like content creation, all that stuff. I just don't see that. And plus, also, we're going to be flying a lot, to the States and the Republic at the same time too.
Well, that's the biggest thing. We'll be back.
Yeah.
We'll be here for all the events. We'll be here just to hang out and see people. Like we're not going and never returning. That's the other thing. Like we talked on this channel before about how many opportunities there are living in LA when people come through town and you meet up for lunch and all that. That will still happen. And I think it's important for our career, important for our networks and important for our, you know, our enrichment, our friendships, that we still have FaceTime, and we will. It's just, you know, day in, day out, we'll be somewhere else. And that's the only real difference.
Yeah,
Well,
and not
for
only
them.
that, I could definitely see also a lot of people that we know applying over there because they've never been to Dominican Republic. This is gonna be
Heck
like their
yeah, come
first time.
visit.
Let's do it. You know.
Yeah.
Anything else, Ree, before we wrap it up?
That's it. I mean, hopefully we made it a little bit clear for people. I know folks who just read the thumbnail or just the title and immediately had a reaction or reached out. In the case of some of my family members, totally understand. But if you watch the videos, you'll hear that we are actually very measured about it, and it is a long-term plan, and we're going about it as responsibly as we can. And yeah, this is real. This is not a whim or a pipe dream. Like this is something that we're doing for our family. So we take it very seriously.
Make sure to follow us on our channels, the Danny Riana Show on YouTube, our personal channels, social media. We're planning to actually record an episode from there, from Punta Cana. We're gonna be there for a while, and also there's gonna be stuff that you're not gonna find anywhere else. We're probably gonna also create some content on like different properties that we've been checking out, the area. You know, we'll think about it. We got some stuff that we would like to do over there. You know, so.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. And yeah, any questions, please feel free to comment at the bottom of this video or on the podcast. If there's an email, you can email through there too. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and share the content, like it. You know, please let people know about our content. We would love our channel to grow even more, especially that we're planning to do a lot of cool stuff over there in the future in Dominican Republic that you're not going to find anywhere else. Make sure to follow us. And that's it. Until next time, we're out and can't wait for what's next. Bye.